Have you ever looked in the mirror and realized you're not the fixer, the scapegoat, or the peacekeeper anymore? It's a startling question. Who am I without the roles I've played? But here's the twist. Those roles were never your true identity. Beneath them is an original essence that hasn't been destroyed, only obscured. I remember the shock of meeting myself for the first time after decades of performing. That meeting changed everything. The ties had been cut, the confrontations were over, the boundaries were holding, and finally I had space. But I wasn't excited. I was blank. I didn't know what I liked. I didn't know what felt good. I didn't even know what I believed, because so much of my belief system had been shaped by what others needed from me. And without the role, I felt hollow. But eventually I saw it for what it was. It was a sacred hollow, a blank canvas, not an emptiness to fear, but a space to listen. That's what this phase is about. Not rushing to redefine yourself, but slowing down enough to meet the version of you who's been there always, underneath it all. So let's start with the grief no one talks about. When you leave a dysfunctional relational system, you don't just lose people. You lose the identity you built around keeping those people comfortable. You lose the version of yourself who was needed, the one who always knew what to say, the one who could make peace, smooth it over, carry the weight. That version got praised. That version got love, or the closest thing to it. So when you let go of the role, it can feel like letting go of your value. But that version of you wasn't your essence. That was your mask. A beautiful, adaptive, intelligent mask, but a mask nonetheless. And when the mask starts to fall, it's not just liberation, it's disorientation. You start to wonder, if I'm not the caretaker, who am I? If I'm not the reliable one, or the calm one, or the explainer, then what's left? And that disorientation means something's working. It means you're no longer confusing performance with presence. Let's be clear, your original essence is not a personality. It's not the set of traits that people compliment. It's not the version of you that keeps things light or deep or safe. Essence is what remains when there's nothing left to manage. No one to impress. No dynamic to decode. It's who you are when you're not translating yourself into something more acceptable. And for a lot of us, that self has been buried under layers of identity that were earned, not remembered. This is where things get slippery, because the roles weren't fake. They were real. They were adaptive. They got you through, but they're not you. They're not your frequency. They're not your source. You don't owe your identity to the dynamics that demanded your sacrifice. The rebirth begins when you stop confusing who they needed you to be with who you actually are. So how do you step into this rebirth? Well, how do you rebuild identity after the mask comes off? First, name the role. Say it out loud. I was the one who made peace. I was the one who held the secrets. I was the one who stayed calm so they didn't explode. And naming it reclaims it in some small way. Second, try to grieve it. And don't rush this part. You can love the version of you that overfunctioned. That person got you here. But don't drag them forward. Just try to let them rest. Third, try to feel what's honest and follow that, not what feels impressive. Your essence is quieter than your performance. It doesn't need applause. It just needs space. Fourth, try to celebrate it. Create in private. Dance without recording it. Write without editing. Speak without needing it to be profound. Let your self-expression be for you, not for performance. Fifth, track where joy emerges without effort. Not dopamine hits, not validation spikes, but real joy. The kind that feels like home in your body. That's your compass. Reclaiming your essence is not an idea. It's a nervous system shift. It's a lifestyle change. It's a remembering. And now the deeper layer is that spiritually, this is not a reinvention. This isn't a makeover. This isn't about finding yourself. It's about remembering yourself. Your essence is not something you build. It's something that you remove the noise around. It's remembering the infinitude of who you are beneath the static. It's like a melody that you once knew by heart before the survival masks, before the role, before the translation. And once you stop trying to become someone, that melody gets louder. You don't need to explain it. You don't need to monetize it. You don't need to brand it. You just need to live it. Daily, lightly, like it was never taken. Because it wasn't. It was just covered. And now it's coming home. If this is the phase you're in right now, the holy hollow, where the roles have fallen away, but the self hasn't yet landed, I want to walk with you. Inside the sovereignty sequence, we don't just teach boundaries. We guide the full arc through rupture, grief, and into this, the quiet reformation of identity. From survival to sovereignty. From performance to presence. From roles to radiance. If you'd like help locating where you are in this unraveling, just comment, send me the quiz, and I'll guide you to a self-assessment that maps the full path home. You are not your usefulness. You are not your reliability. You are not your trauma role. You are not what they needed you to be. You are who you've always been. And now you get to live like it. Let the space feel strange. Let the identity unravel. Let the melody come back in its own timing. You don't need to know who you are right away. You just need to stop being who you're not. And as always, may the shadow wane and the stardust remain.